Have you ever noticed that the moment you start changing, the moment you begin improving yourself, thinking differently, setting boundaries, focusing on your goals, protecting your peace, you also start losing people? At first it feels confusing, almost unsettling, because nothing dramatic happened. No big fight, no clear reason, yet something feels different. People who once felt close begin to feel distant. Conversations become dry, energy shifts, and you start questioning yourself. Did I change too much? Did I do something wrong? But here's the truth that most people never say out loud. Growth doesn't just change your life, it reveals people. When you start growing, the first thing that changes is your awareness. You begin to see things you once ignored, patterns that were always there but you were too distracted, too emotional, or too understanding to notice. You start recognizing inconsistency, the lack of effort, the one-sided energy, the subtle disrespect hidden inside jokes, the way some people only show up when it benefits them, and suddenly, the things you used to tolerate don't feel normal anymore. You stop laughing at what once felt acceptable. You stop chasing people who give you the bare minimum. You stop over-explaining yourself just to be understood, and without even trying, your entire energy begins to shift. You become more calm, more observant, more selective about where you invest your time and emotions. And that's where everything starts to change. Because not everyone is ready for this version of you. The version they were used to was easier, predictable, always available, always forgiving, always adjusting. But now you pause before reacting. You take space when something feels off. You say no without guilt. And for some people, that doesn't feel like growth. It feels like rejection. In psychology, this creates an imbalance in relationships. Because when one person evolves and the other stays the same, the connection begins to lose its old foundation. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel forced. Priorities no longer match. And instead of growing with you, some people unconsciously choose distance. Not always because they dislike you, but because they no longer understand you. And then comes the uncomfortable truth. Some people don't actually want you to grow. Not in a direct, obvious way. They may even say they support you. But your growth challenges something inside them. It reminds them of what they're avoiding. Your discipline exposes their lack of action. Your boundaries remove their access. And instead of feeling inspired, they feel uncomfortable, sometimes even insecure. That's when their behavior starts to change. They stop celebrating your wins. They downplay your progress. They become less available, less supportive, or they try to pull you back into your old version, the version that didn't make them question themselves just by existing. And this is where it gets difficult, because losing people while growing doesn't feel empowering at first. It feels lonely. You start missing the old connection, even if it wasn't healthy. You start doubting your growth, wondering if maybe you're becoming too distant, too serious, too different. And the temptation to shrink yourself just to keep those relationships alive becomes very real. But that is the trap, because the moment you shrink to maintain connections, you betray your own growth. Real growth requires letting go, not just of bad habits, but of environments, patterns, and sometimes people who no longer align with who you're becoming. And that doesn't make them bad people. It just means they were part of a different chapter of your life, a version of you that you have now outgrown. The hardest part is accepting that not everyone is meant to come with you to your next level. Some people were only meant to meet you when you were still figuring things out, when you were still comfortable with less, when you were still available in ways you can't afford to be anymore. And yes, growth can feel lonely. Your circle may get smaller. Your world may feel quieter. But here's the truth you need to hold on to. You are not losing people. You are losing misalignment. You are creating space. Space for healthier relationships, deeper connections, people who understand your mindset, respect your boundaries, and support your direction without feeling threatened by it. Because the right people don't leave when you grow. They grow with you. They adjust. They respect your evolution. They celebrate your progress. And they never make you feel like you have to shrink just to keep them in your life. So if you're in that phase right now, where people are becoming distant, where things feel different, where your circle is getting smaller and your path feels more isolated, don't panic. Don't doubt yourself. This is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. This is a sign that you're evolving, that you're choosing self-respect over approval, purpose over comfort, clarity over confusion. And yes, it comes with a cost, but it also brings something far more valuable. The realization that you're becoming someone your old life can no longer hold. So don't chase people who can't grow with you. Don't beg for connection where there is no alignment. Don't go back to being who you were just to feel accepted again. Because the moment you do that, you stop growing. And remember this, every time you outgrow someone, it's not a failure. It's proof that you are moving forward, that you are becoming who you were meant to be. So keep going, even if it feels lonely, even if it feels uncertain, because one day you'll look back and understand you didn't lose people, you found yourself. And if this felt like your story, if you're going through this silent shift in your life right now, then don't ignore it. Maybe this is your sign to keep evolving no matter who falls away. Comment growth if you're choosing yourself even when it's hard, and follow Dark Within for more truths that people feel deeply, but rarely have the courage to say out loud.